cross-legged, hang on. Okay, hi, I'm sitting on my table. The world is a little bit... Right now, I am here to bring you some whimsy and escapism in the form of reverse mermaid. So it's what it says on the label. We're doing a reverse mermaid. So here is my design. It's a fish up top and a human down the bottom. Not much to it. Basically, I saw this photo on Pinterest and I just want to be him. So that's what we're doing this week. Let's go. It's so hot. I think it's aircon time. I think that for construction, we're gonna start with some cardboard to build this kind of part. Basically, I know that I need enough room for my arms to go like this because I wanna put holes under the fins so that I can move them. I think that the best way to do this is to distribute the weight onto my shoulders so it's not sitting on top of my head, which is what I had originally planned. So cardboard and what I found at the op shop. I found yoga mats. I thought this could be good for the main part of the body. It's fairly lightweight and flexible because here's the thing, I won't have arms and I think there's a really good chance I'm gonna fall over while wearing it. If I make the whole thing out of cardboard, I'm gonna break it. Doesn't it look great? I didn't even bother to fold it. I have some cotton jersey, I think, that I got at op shops, and so we're gonna dye this to hopefully a teal kind of color. We'll see how we go. I don't have the best track record with dyes. And for some accent fins, I told you it looks like fish scales. Oh my God, that looks like fish scales. I bought this in a recent op shopping video. You might not have seen it. We're gonna try and dye that too. This is polyester. It probably won't take to the dye. I'm hoping that the scales don't take to the dye. I think I've got some blue fabric in my stash that we're probably just gonna use to make up the skirt. And I have obviously bought lots of little trinkety things to put on that. So I think that what we should probably start with is just kind of building a framework on our mannequin. Nope. Nope, scratch that. Before that, we're gonna sanitize those yoga mats. Now, I don't have vodka and I don't have a spray bottle, but I've got some gin. And gin is basically just vodka with botanicals added, so it will just smell nicer. Whoop, that's a lot. Oh dear. It's all right, it's gonna be very clean. This doesn't need to be in the video, but this is just so you know that I'm cleaning the yoga mat before I'm using it because this is covered in human sweat. Obviously. Look, it's fine. Ugh. All right, take my word for it that I finished this, cut to the next scene. So I have a feeling that building the structure of this fish is probably gonna take the most time and mental capacity. So I thought what we might do beforehand is just dye this fabric. Thomas went and got me the fabric dye from Spotlight. He did a great job. Okay, so I think Thomas is lost at this point. That's the wool section. In his defense, I'm not sure he's actually ever been inside a Spotlight before, and they are big. Oh, okay, he's found it. They were doing a 3-for-2 deal, so I asked him to pick up some black dye as well for the stash. So we're ready to go. So we're using Rit Teal dye, as always. I forgot to add the detergent and salt like it says to, but I remembered later. I think I'm finally getting the hang of this dyeing thing. I added the dye in parts so I could work up to the color I wanted rather than dumping half a bottle in and hoping for the best like I usually do. It is 2 days early in the video for me to be procrastinating this much. Yeah, I futzed around for ages just doing absolutely nothing. Right. I cannot stress how much I did not have a game plan for this going in. So I just kind of made a ring around myself of cardboard and figured that would be the base. I think that looks pretty good. How do you do this? This being this entire project. All right, that feels like a pretty good start. Next, let's do the face. I completely forgot about the fabric we were dyeing. Oh no, you're meant to stir it the whole time. And I most decidedly have not. It's a nice color though. We got 2 different colors and that actually worked out great. Super happy with that. It was a bit splotchy because of the lack of stirring, but for this project I think it works. For the face, we'll figure it out. Good morning. So I've had to think about this overnight and I do not have a better way to approach this, so we're just gonna keep going. I did, however, pick up some more Gorilla Tape because I'll tell you what, the masking tape is not holding. Let's keep going. I don't know, montage time maybe? the tape is supposed to be terrible. I couldn't figure it out, so I just ended up using a knife every time I cut it. Hello, I'm interrupting the montage to let you know that I wanted to set up a second camera angle, and I just spent 5 minutes wandering around the entirety of my house trying to figure out where my second camera was. There it is, in its rig, where it belongs. All right, back to it. All right, it's definitely resting on my hand. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Because the idea is to wear it like this, with the hands coming out of the fins. It's the best I can do so far. All right, I guess we'll just keep going.
Twirling,
Twirling towards freedom. Oh my god, I heard a weird noise and it was a bee was inside. You're not even outside, had the door open for Al. We don't want to let bees in, do we? Do we, Elf Mouth? No bees inside? Can we agree on this? Do we have an accord? Elf, want to shake on it? Shake? You actually don't know shake, do you? That's okay. You don't have to know shake. Oh, more pets. More pets. So, oh yeah, I realized that we needed to round out the face, otherwise it would look like his head was chopped off. There you are. I'm very far away because this is very big. It's looking like a really large, round version of the finger hat that I made. Yeah, no, my desk isn't big enough for this. Yeah, all right, let's just do that. You're so far away. I do have the contact cement there, but I'm too scared to use it. Okay, so first of all, I bought the contact cement, so I am eventually going to have to use it. I just don't have a ventilated work area, and it was like 35 degrees that day, 95 for my American friends, so it was way too hot to be outside. I definitely wouldn't recommend hot glue for yoga mat crafts though. It doesn't want to stick to the smooth sides, but then I'm terrible with hot glue, so it could be user error. My technique was to cut the foam halfway across the cardboard bits so that both pieces could stick. I don't know how to explain that better. And I did quite a bit of cutting darts to try to get the shaping right. Okay, here is where we are at. This thing is huge and it is stressing me out. It doesn't look good. It's very big and heavy. We are down to our last 9 glue sticks and I really don't want to have to go out and buy more. So send thoughts and prayers. Yeah, we were definitely getting into this was a huge mistake and I'm filled with regret territory. It happens in every project, but you know the drill. The only way out is through, and if I feel terrible about it, it's gonna get real good real soon. Oh my god, it's so big. What am I gonna do? This is not what I was picturing. Oh no. Why did I make it so big? Oh, we've definitely hit the point of this was a huge mistake. All right, well, I guess now it's time to just add on this lower section here. Great, good, good. I actually considered trying to make it smaller, but it was too much work. I couldn't do it. Good morning. Oh, it is afternoon, that's right. First of all, she survived the night. That makes me feel good that it didn't just fall apart over the course of the evening. The shoulder straps are holding in. I did reinforce them with some of that Gorilla Tape. We have to cut holes for the eyes and the mouth because the mouth is the only way I'm gonna be able to see in this. Then, the exciting part, we get to start covering it in fabric and then it starts to feel like soft sculpture for me, and then that's something I'm very excited about. There is, however, one thing. So it's like 35 degrees today, and sorry, the sun is coming out and it's getting incredibly bright. So I checked the weather report and we are supposed to be filming the reveal on Sunday night. But the weather for Sunday night is looking like 15 degrees and rainy. So we have to bring the reveal forward to Saturday night. I thought I had 5 days to get this done and now I only have 4. But I went and got the groceries this morning, so now we only have 3.5 days. Whoops. So we really need to get onto it. Hang on. Oh my god, who does a video call these days? Hi. Hello, darling. Are you in a hammock? It's called relaxing, darling. You should try it sometime. Might have less of those unsightly frown lines. Okay, well, what's up? Nothing. Did you call me just to let me know that you're on holidays? What is that? Is that winking? Are you winking at me? Okay, well, thanks. I will talk to you later. Goodbye, darling. You know, I have noticed lately that I pick up my phone like hundreds of times a day. It's just like the second I start to get bored, start scrolling social media, and I inevitably feel worse after being on there. So I've decided to not keep my phone around me as much. And by that I mean, I put it down in the house and then I can't find it for hours. So Same. So I am trying to switch to more analog activities like my knitting, reading, and drawing. Which is wonderful, darling. Oh my God, don't do that. I thought you were taking a break. Oh darling, I am always working, and this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Yes it is, and I am thrilled that Skillshare is returning as a sponsor on the channel. You probably already know by this stage, but in case you don't, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, creativity, productivity, and more. I gotta stop clapping while I talk. I took Always Drawing How to Start and Keep a Daily Sketchbook by Mike Lowry, and it got me drawing straight away. This is the most accurate self-portrait I have ever done, and I barely even had to think about it. I did the Blob Monsters exercise from his follow-up class of creative prompts, but I really enjoyed the icons activity. I did an ocean theme, and it reminded me of how much I love drawing and that I actually want to practice and develop my own style. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Thanks, Skillshare. Thanks, Skillshare. The wool coat is too much for filming in summer. I've said it before. I'm going to speak to management. Okay, after filming that, we have less than half a day. Let's go. Let's turn this monstrosity into something. It has to be something very soon. So the next step was to cut out the handholds, but to know where to position them, I had to be inside the fish. I'm doing it. You can't see, but I am doing it. This whole process was all kinds of awkward. There we go. Huh? Looks like I forgot to mention it in the intro, but I got polystyrene balls for eyes. A masterpiece, exactly the mood. Oh no! The eyes face too far forward. No! That is such a horrifying face! That doesn't look like a fish. Maybe it's this little triangle that's making it worse. Looks like he's got a nose. Well, time to cut out the mouth. Oh my God, it's so bad! I would like some fish. We might trim his mouth down a little bit more at the bottom so we get a bit more of an opening. And then we can probably sew some lips onto it. Makes me very happy. Next was fins. I drew out a shape and proceeded to completely ignore it. And then I spent a lot of time waiting for glue to dry. All right, that's gonna fall off. Tape. Thought you'd seen all the footage of me struggling with that tape, didn't you? These fins were honestly a losing battle. More glue drying time. I sketched out a dorsal fin to cut out and ignored that shape too. And then also struggled to affix those fins. There was masking tape, there was double-sided tape, it's a whole thing. It's trying to stay up, but it's just falling sadly to the side. We can fix this. Oh, it's so sad. I have an idea. The idea was just zip ties and masking tape, but it worked. All right, she is sagging quite a bit. Don't worry about the coat there. But the fin seems to be holding up okay, what with some tape. Oh God, its face. All right, I am gonna put the rest of the dorsal fin on. Again, I am sure that contact cement would have been better than our expensive double-sided tape, masking tape, and hot glue, but we got there in the end. I ended up securing the eyeballs by sticking some flathead pins into the foam and polystyrene. So I think I'm gonna start attempting to like add some dimension to like the nose/lip area. And I know I shouldn't start in the most prominent part, but I'm gonna do it. And then I kind of want the face to be one color and that to match the fins and then the body to be another color. We'll see how we go. I dyed the skirt. I did not expect this to work, so I didn't film it, but it looks amazing in this color. It's polyester, so like the dye should not have worked, but I just left it in there for ages and didn't wash it afterwards. So these are what we're working with to make our fish into a fish and not whatever that is. Let's go. I pulled some fabric scraps from one of my many scrap bags. I hold on to everything, not like a hoarder though, just like a crafter. It's different, you can check. And I built up some shape on the nose, and I did just Google that, and yes, fish do have noses, or at least nostrils. They use them for smelling, not breathing. Anyway, this was super challenging to sew through fabric, yoga mat, and cardboard, so I didn't do much of it. Next was draping the fabric onto the face, and it was so great to see this finally coming together. I've been wanting to do more soft sculpture this year, so this definitely scratched that itch. I'd say the draping and hand sewing are my favorite parts of the project, and coincidentally, it's time for your favorite part of the video. It's the part where I ask you to like the video and subscribe. Not in a pushy way though, like in a chill way. I'm not like a regular mum, I'm a cool mum. And I mean that entirely as a Mean Girls reference, not in like it, I'm not like other YouTubers way. I'm rambling, but also subscribe, please and thank you, you're the best. Anyway, back to the sewing. I broke out the giant sewing needles for this one, and it was still really difficult. Generally, I tried to attach the fabric using the tension of other pieces of fabric rather than sewing it to I wrote foam, because instead of sewing it to the foam. Sorry, I confused myself. It wouldn't seem possible, but she's getting worse with every stage. She's so pretty. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for tonight, and I will see you tomorrow for seeing if it gets worse. It's so dark today. We're bringing the cozy vibes. For the love of God, do not let me forget that I have a candle burning, okay? Because don't tell Thomas, but I left the hot glue gun on while I walked Alf yesterday. Terrifying. Oh God, that's not the right light. She's doing great. So today, we're just gonna continue covering her with fabric. I'm a little worried about how much I have because I didn't picture her body being this big. Let's get to it. First thing I had to do was finish securing that bottom lip and try not to get distracted by looking at Instagram. Oh my God, my face is so big. I just tested my hypothesis. I had a little look at Instagram. Feel like garbage. A lot of bad things on there. So back to making fish. Okay, I feel like I should prepare you. This is a whole day of sewing fabric onto the fish. This is the longest bit of voiceover that I have to do in the video, and naturally, Thomas has gone for a walk right now, and so I, the spare human, am now Alf's first choice for company. So he's gonna start coming into the room with his little tippy-tappies and try to send them to my desk. He's currently doing it right now. He's such a good boy. Also, if you see me looking off camera the whole time, it's because I'm rewatching Superstore again. It is a masterpiece and I love it so much. Oh, that bit is so satisfying. I love watching the stitches really sped up. So for anyone who is more listening than watching the video right now, no shade, I do it all the time. I'm pinning the fabric in place over the side of the fish while Alfie hangs out, and now I'm sewing the side fabric to the face fabric. Oh, I should tell you the backstory I thought of the reverse mermaid. I like to think that a human made a deal with a sea witch to become mermaid, like the reverse of a certain Disney story that I'm definitely not plagiarizing. Anyway, a human fails to read the terms and conditions of the agreement and the deal goes horribly wrong. Or is it horribly right? So here's Alfie taking a break from helping, having a lie in a sunbeam. And here's the speed I actually sew at. It's kind of hard to watch. All right, I am so close to covering the body. We've got that part there, fins, and that pesky little patch there. And for some reason, even though I'm like partway through that stitch, that's where I'm calling it today. I'm gonna go start dinner because the mashed potato takes forever for some, you don't need to know that. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. So today my plan is to fill in the gaps that are still there, cover up the fins, these ones. I've realized that this skirt, wow, that really does mess with your eyes. This has no side seams, and I'm really quite worried that the moment that I cut into this, the whole thing's going to unravel. I don't know, I need to figure that out before I cut this up. Let's get into sewing. I know it's boring for you, but these are my favorite parts of the projects where I just sit there and sew for hours on end. For anyone playing along at home, Alf is back for more scratches and tippy tappies while I'm doing voiceover. It's literally his favorite thing to do whenever I start talking. Anyway, I finished up the fins. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I did have to cover up some of the joins in the foam by using more scrap fabric. Looks nice and smooth though. All right, she is all covered with fabric. Good stuff. And I have that much left, so actually worked out great. So now it is time to attach this one and this one somehow. I haven't 100% figured out how I'm going to attach them, but I have just made a fantastic discovery. There is a sort of side seam on this skirt, have a look. Can you see? It's really hard to focus on this, but there's a little zigzag where it turns around. So I can actually, it's really hard to see, but just, you know what, trust me, I can cut through here and turn this into different panels. It's gonna be good, I hope. We're gonna give it a try. See, there's a gap all along here. We have an entire panel of eye-busting fabric. I know this is difficult to look at. It's not falling apart. I know that this is not how fish work, but I thought what we could do is give her like a sparkly belly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway, because I don't know what else to do with this. And I know the fin is the one part that isn't scaly on a fish, but I didn't know where else to put it. That's a lot, but this is just so I can paint the eyeballs because I really should have painted them before I put them in. Yay, side quest time. I really should have done it earlier. I was trying to counteract how close I'd made the eyes by painting the pupils facing outwards, and she kind of just came out more derpy. But I'm pretty sure that by giving her forward-facing eyes, I've made her a predator too. You have to be nice to her, she's my baby. So I finished up the day by covering up all that nice stitching I did on the fins. Good morning. Cue Alf, come running. to get angry at me for talking to the camera, sorry. It's only early, but it is already very warm, the breeze that's coming in. I think it's gonna be 35 degrees today, yay. So that actually doesn't lead into anything, I'm just complaining. I finished the fish this morning. I did the last stitches to attach the scales, so we are all good to go. I don't know where to store it because I thought maybe I could prop it up on a chair. It does not have the structural integrity for that. The only place it can live is on the mannequin, and we need the mannequin for making a skirt. No! Another beetle came in. We've got this tree near us that has attracted a whole bunch of yellow beetles, and they keep accidentally coming in here. There's no trees in here. Anyway, I had forgotten what our design for the skirt was, so as a refresher for everyone, including me, here is what the skirt looks like. Ish. It's a concept. I have collected some pearls from the op shops, strings of pearls from, I think, Tom's side of the family, definitely. We've got some shells, mother of pearl. So these are our decorations. This is our boy. Hi. Oh. And I was thinking that maybe we could use what's left of this stretch fabric to make the skirt. And then I realized that this will not hold up the weight of all of our decorations. We need to use a woven fabric, and here's what I have. This is a bed sheet, I want to say.
A pink, I want to say vinyl purse.
But I do feel like maybe some differentiation between the top, like the fish and the human portion makes sense. I don't have a pattern for a skirt, so we're just going to drape a skirt onto the mannequin and fingers crossed it's still about the same size as me. This is not a top, it's just the scraps, but I thought it looked kind of cute, so I wanted to give her a little top for now. This is the back of that cushion I took apart. So I'm gonna use this as the base of the skirt so that I don't have to put a zipper in. Let's get started. This is so much more fabric than I thought it was. So this was my best attempt at draping. I do think I'm getting better, but they always come out really wonky. I think part of it is my mannequin is 4 kinds of tape stuffed with scrap fabric, and maybe I should make one proper. Also, I don't want you to think that I got it right the first try. There was a whole bunch of rejigging and, again, still wonky. Oh yeah, I realized after sewing that it was way too crinkly, so it needed an iron. I checked the skirt measurements on myself and then pinned it in place on the mannequin, and I'm pleased to say it was easier just sewing the skirt to a piece of fabric that already had a zipper in it. I hate doing zippers. I traced out a little scalloped hem for the skirt, and you best believe I'm not finishing this properly. I actually wouldn't even know how. Okay, it came out a bit wonky, but honestly, pretty cute. Yeah, okay, look, the back. Don't worry about the back. No one's supposed to look at the back. It's a little messy. Time to make some embellishments. I got started unstringing all of my pearls and shells, and then I found that some of them could actually be left intact, which saved me a little bit of time. Oh, and ignore that little jellyfish bit, I ended up taking it off. This was such a nice chill way to finish out the project, just stringing up some beads. I was getting really into pearls and shells and sea witch vibes late last year, and then I saw that sea witchery is one of Pinterest's top trend predictions for 2025. So even when I don't think I'm following trends, I'm still influenced by them. And that is to say, I really like this skirt, and I'm totally doing more sea witch vibes in the future. Hi. So the skirt is looking pretty close to what I imagined. As far as I can make like cartoon images in my brain into real things, I'm gonna string up a few more beads and pearls, add a little bit more to the skirt, and so I will see you in the reveal.
Wipe your foot up.
my sunglasses. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. If anyone has any ideas what to do with this, let me know, because I don't have any room in my house for it, and also we might have ruined it because it got wet and it's made of cardboard. Okay, subscribe. Bye. I'm so hungry.